The next morning, Mira woke up feeling a mix of hope and nervousness. She knew she needed a new job, but she also wanted a place where she could feel proud of her work. She decided to visit the town's community center. It was a place she had passed many times but never entered. She remembered seeing flyers about volunteering opportunities and thought it might be a way to meet new people and do something meaningful. When Mira arrived, the building was bright and welcoming. Children laughed in the playroom, and a group of adults were setting up tables for a workshop. Mira walked to the front desk and introduced herself. "I'm Mira," she said politely. "I am looking for volunteering or work opportunities. Is there anything I can do to help?" The woman at the desk smiled warmly. "Hello, Mira. We are always looking for kind and responsible people. You can start by helping us with the community library. We have books that need sorting and organizing." Mira's eyes lit up. "I would love that." She spent the morning arranging books, placing them neatly on shelves and helping children pick out reading materials. For the first time since losing her job, she felt useful and happy. Children came to her with questions about books, and she answered with patience and kindness. The work was simple, but it felt meaningful. As she was helping a young boy find a storybook about animals, she noticed a familiar figure entering the room. It was the man from the bookstore, and by his side was the golden retriever. Mira's heart skipped a beat. She had not expected to see him again so soon. The man looked surprised to see her. "Hello," he said softly. "I didn't expect to see you here." Mira smiled warmly. "I didn't expect to see you either. How are you and your dog?" He chuckled lightly. "We are doing well. I come here often. My dog likes the park nearby, and I enjoy volunteering here." Mira felt a sense of relief. She had wondered about him since the bookstore incident. "I am glad you are okay," she said. The man introduced himself. "My name is Adam. This is Max," he said, patting the dog gently. "You were very brave yesterday. I am grateful for your support." Mira felt a flush of pride. "It was the right thing to do," she said simply. Adam smiled and paused for a moment. "You have a good heart. If you are interested, we could use someone like you here more often. We are starting a new program to help people with disabilities, and Max often participates. Your help would be valuable." Mira's eyes widened. This was an opportunity she had never imagined. She nodded eagerly. "I would love to help in any way I can." Over the next few hours, Mira learned about the program. She would assist in teaching people how to interact with service dogs, help organize books and resources, and support participants during activities. It was different from her bookstore job, but she felt excited to be part of something meaningful. Adam watched Mira work and noticed her dedication. "You have a natural ability to connect with people," he said. "That is rare. Most volunteers do their tasks but do not engage like you do. It is special." Mira felt a warmth in her chest. She had always wanted to make a difference, but she never thought someone would notice. She realized that sometimes losing something could lead to something better. The bookstore incident, painful as it was, had opened the door to a new and rewarding path. As the afternoon ended, Adam and Mira walked out together. Max trotted happily beside them, his tail wagging. Mira felt a sense of hope she had not felt in weeks. She knew the journey ahead would have challenges, but she also knew she had found a place where her courage, kindness, and love for helping others mattered. That day, Mira understood something important. Standing up for what is right, even when it costs something, can lead to unexpected opportunities. Her life was beginning to change, and for the first time since losing her job, she was truly excited about what the future might hold. The next morning, Mira woke up feeling both nervous and excited. Today was her first official day helping at the community center program. She put on a comfortable shirt and jeans, tied her hair back, and packed a small notebook and pen. She wanted to be ready for anything. When she arrived at the center, the sunlight streamed through the large windows, making the room feel warm and welcoming. Children were playing in one corner, their laughter filling the space. A few adults were setting up tables for activities, while others were preparing snacks for later. Mira took a deep breath and reminded herself that she belonged here, just as much as anyone else. Adam was already there, arranging chairs and guiding volunteers. He smiled at Mira as she entered. "Good morning, Mira. Are you ready for your first day?" Mira smiled back, though her stomach was a little tight. "Yes, I think so," she replied. "I hope I can help everyone the right way." Adam nodded reassuringly. "You will. Just be patient and kind. That is all anyone needs. Mira started her day by organizing books and supplies in the library corner. The shelves were full of books about animals, science, and stories for children of all ages. Mira felt a small thrill of excitement. She loved books, and now she could use them to help others learn. Soon the first participants arrived. Mira greeted each one warmly and introduced herself. Some were shy and cautious, holding on to their parents' hands. Others were more confident, walking directly up to her with curiosity in their eyes. Mira guided them gently, helping them feel comfortable and included. The first activity involved learning how to interact with a service dog. Mira demonstrated calmly, showing how to give commands and how to approach the dog safely. Max, the golden retriever, followed each command perfectly, wagging his tail and looking at the participants with gentle eyes. Mira noticed the children's faces light up as they realized the dogs were friendly and helpful. As the morning went on, Mira helped the participants try different exercises. She guided their hands, encouraged their voices, and praised every small success. When a child hesitated, Mira stayed patient, explaining step by step. When someone succeeded, she cheered and smiled. She realized that her job was not just about giving instructions. It was about giving confidence and hope. During a short break, Mira walked with a participant named Amir, a quiet boy who had been nervous at first. "You're really good at helping the dogs," Amir said softly. "I was scared, but now I feel better," Mira smiled. "Thank you, Amir. You are brave for trying. The more you practice, the more confident you will become." Amir nodded, and Mira could see the change in his posture. He was standing taller, smiling more, and ready to continue. Mira felt proud. This was why she had chosen to help here. Seeing people grow, even in small ways, made her heart feel full. By the afternoon, Mira was tired but happy. She had guided everyone through several activities, helped solve small problems, and learned how to manage a group of different people. Adam came over and placed a hand on her shoulder. "You did very well today," he said. "I could see how much patience and care you gave to everyone. This program will be better because of you." Mira blushed slightly. "I just want to help." "I hope I am making a difference," Adam smiled. "You already are. Every small action counts, and the participants will remember how you made them feel." As the center quieted down for the evening, Mira walked home slowly, thinking about her first day. She had been nervous at first, but now she felt confident and proud. Helping others, seeing their progress, and guiding them through challenges had given her a sense of purpose she had never experienced before. That night, Mira sat by her window, thinking about the journey that had led her here. Losing her job at the bookstore had been painful, but it had brought her to a place where she could make a real difference. She realized that even difficult moments could lead to new opportunities and growth. With Max resting at her feet and the quiet of the evening around her, Mira smiled. She felt ready for the next day and for the challenges and joys it would bring. Her life was beginning to change in a way that was meaningful and full of hope. Daniel was a single father who lived in a small town near the highway. His days were long and his nights were even longer. He worked at a workshop, fixing cars during the day, and in the evening he drove his old truck to deliver packages for extra money. Every dollar mattered because he had a daughter named Lily who was only 8 years old. She was cheerful and full of questions about the world, but Daniel often worried that he could not give her everything she deserved. Life had not been easy for him. His wife had left when Lily was just a baby, leaving Daniel to raise her alone. He never complained, but he carried the weight of responsibility every single day. He wanted Lily to grow up happy, safe, and with a better future than his own. One Saturday evening, Daniel was driving home after finishing his delivery shift. The road stretched ahead, quiet except for the sound of his truck's old engine. He kept his eyes on the highway and thought about what he would cook for Lily. His money was tight, but he promised her pancakes for Sunday breakfast. She loved pancakes, and he was determined to keep that promise. As he drove past a curve, his eyes caught sight of someone standing by the side of the road. A young woman with a small bag raised her hand, signaling for help. Daniel slowed the truck and pulled over. Hitchhikers were not common in that area, but he knew the highway could be dangerous, especially at night. The young woman stepped closer. She wore jeans, a light jacket, and simple sneakers. Her hair was tied back, and there was a tired look on her face. "Do you need a ride?" Daniel asked through the open window. "Yes, please," she replied softly. "I need to get to the next town." Daniel hesitated for a moment, then nodded. "Hop in, it's not far. She climbed into the passenger seat, thanking him. For a few moments they sat in silence, the sound of the truck filling the space between them. Daniel glanced at her once. She looked polite but carried an air of someone not used to hitchhiking. "My name's Daniel," he said, finally breaking the silence. "And you are?" "Anna," she replied, offering a small smile. "Nice to meet you, Anna. So where are you heading?" "To Green Hill. I have some family matters to take care of," she said. Her tone was calm, but there was something careful about her words. Daniel nodded and focused on the road again. He was not the type to ask too many questions. After a while, Anna noticed his hands, rough and covered with small cuts, the kind only someone who worked hard with tools would have. She also saw the back seat of the truck where a child's backpack rested. "You have a kid?" she asked gently. "Yes," Daniel replied, his face softening. "My daughter Lily, she's waiting for me at home." Anna smiled. "That's sweet. She must be lucky to have you." Daniel gave a small laugh. "I don't know about lucky. I just try my best." As the truck rolled forward, Anna began to notice little things about Daniel. His jacket was old but clean, his shoes were worn, and his truck looked like it had seen better days. Still, there was pride in the way he carried himself. He was clearly a man who worked hard, not for himself but for someone he loved. They reached the small gas station halfway to Green Hill. Daniel stopped to put fuel in his truck. Anna stepped out to stretch her legs. She noticed how Daniel counted his money carefully before paying, making sure he had enough left for tomorrow. He even bought a small candy bar, probably for his daughter. Back on the road, Anna grew curious. It must be hard raising a child alone. Daniel gave a long breath. "It is, but Lily gives me strength. Everything I do for her." Something about his answer touched Anna deeply. She turned to look out the window, hiding her expression. He had no idea who she really was. To Daniel, she was just a girl needing a ride. But in truth, Anna was the daughter of one of the richest men in the country. She had chosen to leave her luxurious world for a while, hoping to understand how ordinary people lived. She did not plan to reveal that secret, not yet. Instead, she just listened as Daniel talked about Lily's dreams of becoming an artist, about her laughter, and about how she loved pancakes. The more Anna listened, the more she felt something unusual, respect for this man who had nothing fancy but still carried a heart full of love. The night grew darker, and the road stretched on. Daniel hummed an old tune as he drove, and Anna found herself feeling strangely safe in the truck of a man who had no idea that the quiet hitchhiker beside him came from a world of wealth beyond his imagination. The night air was cool as Daniel continued driving toward Green Hill. The highway was quiet, and the only sounds were the low hum of the truck's engine and the occasional chirp of crickets from the roadside. Anna stared out of the window, watching the dim lights of passing houses and thinking about how different this life was from her own. She had grown up in mansions, attended private schools, and traveled around the world. But here, in this simple truck, she saw something she had never noticed before: honesty, hard work, and real care for someone else. Daniel broke the silence after a few minutes. "Do you want some water?" "I have a bottle in the glove compartment." Anna smiled and shook her head. "No, thank you. I'm fine." Daniel glanced at her and noticed the tired look on her face. "You look like you've been walking for a long time. Are you okay?" "Yes," Anna replied softly. "I just needed a change. Some time away from home." Daniel nodded without asking more questions. He respected people who kept their privacy. Still, he could sense there was something different about her, the way she spoke, the careful choice of her words, and the calm confidence she carried. It was unusual for someone traveling alone on the highway. As the miles passed, they reached a small diner by the side of the road. The neon sign flickered, but it was the only place open at this hour. Daniel pulled the truck into the parking lot. "Do you want to grab something to eat?" he asked. Anna hesitated, but then nodded. "Sure, that would be nice." Inside the diner, the smell of coffee and warm bread made Daniel feel at home. He ordered a simple sandwich and coffee for himself, and Anna ordered a salad and tea. They sat in a corner booth, and Daniel noticed Anna's careful manners. She seemed polite, quiet, and thoughtful, unlike anyone he had met on the highway before. "You travel a lot?" Daniel asked casually, trying to make small talk. Anna thought for a moment. "Sometimes. My family moves around a lot. I guess I'm used to it." She spoke carefully, avoiding any mention of her real wealth. Daniel nodded, sipping his coffee. I know how it feels to move. Not much, but life changes sometimes. When my wife left, I had to change everything. I had to learn how to take care of Lily alone. It wasn't easy. Anna looked at him, surprised by his honesty. There was a quiet strength in him, a kind of courage that came from doing the right thing no matter what. You sound very devoted, she said. I am, Daniel replied with a small smile. She's my whole world. Everything I do is for her. Some days I feel like I can't do enough, but I try. Anna was silent for a moment, studying him. She realized that no amount of money or privilege could replace what he had. Love, responsibility, and dedication. These were things you could not buy. When their food arrived, Daniel offered her a bite of his sandwich. She laughed softly. Thank you, but I'm okay. They ate quietly, and Daniel noticed how Anna seemed thoughtful, almost distant at times. He decided not to push her, sensing she had her own reasons for being on the road. After finishing, they left the diner and returned to the truck. The night had grown colder, and the stars were bright in the clear sky. Daniel turned on the heater as the highway stretched ahead. Anna looked out again, enjoying the quiet journey. You seem very happy with your daughter, she said suddenly. Daniel glanced at her, surprised by the question. I am. Life is hard sometimes, but she makes it all worth it. Even on the worst days, her smile can change everything. Anna felt a warmth in her chest. She had seen many things in her life, but the simplicity and sincerity of this father's love were different. She wanted to know more about Lily, about their life, and about Daniel's dreams. The truck continued down the road, and the quiet conversation between them created a strange comfort. Two strangers from completely different worlds shared a moment of trust and understanding. Daniel had no idea that the girl beside him was Anna, a daughter of one of the richest men in the country. And Anna had no idea that she had already found someone whose heart was richer than any treasure she had ever known. As they drove deeper into the night, the highway seemed endless, but neither of them felt tired. There was a connection forming, subtle but real, like the quiet hum of the engine that carried them forward. By the time they reached the edge of Greenhill, the town's lights appeared in the distance. Daniel slowed the truck and glanced at Anna. We're almost there, he said. Anna smiled softly. Thank you for the ride, Daniel. I really appreciate it. Daniel returned her smile. No problem. It's nothing. I'm glad I could help. The road ahead was full of possibilities, and both of them felt that this chance meeting was the beginning of something neither of them could yet understand. As Daniel drove into Greenhill, the town lights sparkled like tiny stars. Anna watched silently, noticing the small houses, the quiet streets, and the local shops that lined the main road. Everything looked simple and peaceful. It was very different from the grand buildings, expensive cars, and crowded streets she was used to in her own life. Daniel parked his truck near a small neighborhood where he lived. He looked around, checking that Lily would be safe when she saw him arrive. This is my street, he said, pointing ahead. My daughter will be waiting for me at home. She's probably already thinking about what she wants for dinner. Anna smiled at the thought. It sounds like you have a lovely daughter. She is, Daniel replied, his voice softening. She is the reason I work so hard every day. She has a big heart and a bright smile. I just hope I can give her everything she deserves. Anna felt a strange warmth in her chest. This man, with his worn-out truck and tired hands, carried something she had never experienced: pure, honest love for another person. Before they reached his house, Daniel noticed a small playground nearby. The swings moved gently in the breeze, and the slide glimmered under the streetlight. Anna looked at the playground and sighed. It reminds me of being a kid, she said quietly. I never had a place like this, but it looks wonderful. Daniel chuckled. I grew up playing in places like this. It's not much, but kids love it. Lily loves it here. Anna nodded, feeling a strange desire to step out and see it herself. But she remained in the truck, respecting Daniel's privacy. Finally, they reached a small, cozy house at the end of the street. Flowers grew along the front yard, and a small welcome mat lay at the doorstep. Daniel parked and turned off the engine. This is me, he said, opening the door. Thank you again for the ride, Anna. You made a long night easier. It was no trouble at all, she replied. I enjoyed the drive. Daniel gave her a warm smile. Take care of yourself, all right? Anna nodded, stepping out of the truck. She glanced back one last time at Daniel, feeling an unexpected sadness that this moment was ending. I will. Thank you, Daniel, she said sincerely. He waved, then started walking toward his house. As he approached, the door opened and a small figure appeared. Lily ran out into the yard, her eyes lighting up when she saw her father. "Daddy!" she shouted happily. She ran into his arms, laughing as Daniel lifted her up. "I was waiting for you. Did you bring me something?" Daniel laughed and kissed her cheek. "Not yet, but I promise pancakes in the morning." Lily clapped her hands. "Yay, pancakes." Anna watched from a distance, her heart swelling with warmth. She had expected this man to be tired and lonely, but instead, she saw laughter, love, and joy. He may not have had money, but he had something far more valuable. As Daniel carried Lily inside, Anna realized she had to leave soon. She did not want to intrude, but she felt a connection to this small family. She wanted to understand more about their world. Maybe, she thought, ordinary life had more happiness than her life of wealth and privilege. Before she turned to leave, Daniel noticed her standing by the truck. "Heading out?" he asked. Anna nodded. "Yes, I have to get going, but I'll remember tonight. Thank you for everything." Daniel smiled and waved. "Safe travels, Anna." As Anna walked down the quiet street, she thought about what she had witnessed. A struggling father and his daughter, living with very little, yet their happiness and love were complete. She could not understand why life had been so different for her. Yet she felt inspired. Maybe she could learn something from people like Daniel. Meanwhile, inside the house, Daniel tucked Lily into bed. She yawned and snuggled under the blankets. "Daddy," she whispered, "I hope we can have more adventures like today." Daniel kissed her forehead. "We will, Lily, I promise." Outside, Anna disappeared into the shadows, leaving Daniel and his daughter in their simple, cozy home. She had no idea that this chance encounter would change her life as much as it had already touched her heart. Something told her that she would see Daniel again. And when that time came, things would never be the same. The night was calm, the stars shining above, and the quiet street held the promise of new beginnings. Both Daniel and Anna were unaware that their lives were about to intersect in ways neither of them could imagine. The next morning, Daniel woke up early as usual. The sun had just begun to rise, casting soft golden light across the small town. He quickly prepared breakfast for Lily, who was already awake and excited. "Daddy, pancakes!" she exclaimed as she ran into the kitchen. Daniel smiled and flipped the first pancake onto a plate. "Coming right up, Lily," he said. "I hope you're hungry," Lily giggled. "I am. I dreamt about these pancakes all night." They ate together, enjoying the warmth of the small kitchen. Daniel watched Lily carefully, noticing how her hair caught the morning light and how her eyes sparkled with excitement. She was his world, and he wanted to make every day special for her, no matter how little money he had. After breakfast, Daniel kissed Lily on the forehead and helped her get ready for school. She packed her bag, waved goodbye, and ran off to catch the school bus. Daniel stood by the door for a moment, breathing in the fresh morning air. Then he headed to the workshop to start his day. Meanwhile, Anna found a small cafe in Green Hill. She sat by the window sipping tea and thought about the night before. Something about Daniel's honesty and care for his daughter had touched her deeply. In her world, money solved many problems, but it could not teach someone to love and sacrifice the way Daniel did. She realized that she wanted to understand more about lives like his. By late morning, Daniel was busy fixing a car at the workshop. His hands moved skillfully over the tools, but his mind kept wandering back to the previous night. The encounter with Anna had been unusual yet comforting. He could not explain why he felt a small spark of curiosity about her, even though she was a stranger. Around noon, Lily came home from school. She ran to the backyard, calling out to her father. "Daddy, look what I drew today!" Daniel wiped his hands on a rag and crouched down to look at her drawing. She had sketched a picture of the two of them, smiling under a bright sun. "This is wonderful, Lily. You are getting better every day," Lily beamed. "Do you think I could hang it on the fridge?" "Of course," Daniel said, smiling. He pinned the drawing carefully to the refrigerator door. Later that afternoon, Daniel returned to his deliveries, driving his old truck along the familiar streets. He noticed the same quiet charm that had drawn him to this small town when he moved here years ago. The houses, the trees, and even the little playground seemed to carry a peaceful energy that made life feel simpler and safer. As he drove, he spotted a figure walking along the side of the road. To his surprise, it was Anna. She waved at him. Hello? She called. Daniel stopped the truck. Anna, what are you doing here? I wanted to explore the town a little, she said, smiling. Do you mind if I ride with you for a while? Daniel hesitated, then shrugged. Sure, hop in. As Anna climbed into the passenger seat, Daniel felt a strange sense of familiarity. She looked comfortable, like someone who belonged on this quiet road even though he knew nothing about her life. They drove slowly, talking about the town, the people, and small everyday things. Anna asked questions about Lily, about Daniel's work, and even about his dreams. Daniel spoke openly, telling her how he wanted Lily to grow up happy and confident, and how he wished he could give her a life with more opportunities. Anna listened carefully, feeling admiration and respect grow inside her. She realized that life was not about money or fame, but about love, care, and the connections we make. Daniel's simple words and sincere heart had a power she had never experienced before. By the time the sun began to set, Daniel had finished his deliveries. He parked the truck near his house. Anna looked at him and smiled. Thank you for letting me ride with you today. I feel like I understand this town a little better. Daniel returned the smile. You're welcome. I'm glad you came along. Anna stepped out of the truck and watched as Daniel waved goodbye. She felt a strange pull in her heart, knowing that their paths had crossed for a reason. She didn't know what the future held, but she felt that she wanted to be part of this ordinary, loving life for a while. As Daniel entered the house, Lily ran to greet him. He lifted her up and she hugged him tightly. Did you have a good day, Daddy? She asked. I did, Daniel said softly. A very good day. Outside, the street grew quiet under the evening sky. The lights in the small town glowed warmly, and somewhere in that calm, Anna walked toward the shadows, thinking about the man who had no idea that she was a billionaire's daughter. She wondered what it would be like to be part of his simple, loving world, even if only for a short time. The next morning, Daniel woke up early as usual. The sunlight streamed through the small curtains, warming the little kitchen. Lily was already awake, sitting at the table with her homework spread out before her. She looked up and smiled when she saw her father entering the room. Good morning, Daddy, she said cheerfully. Can we go to the park after school today? Daniel smiled and ruffled her hair. Of course, Lily, we can go after you finish your homework. After breakfast, Daniel kissed Lily goodbye and waved as she ran off to school. Then he headed to the workshop, ready to start another long day of work. The town was quiet and the street seemed to hum with peaceful energy. Daniel liked the calmness of Green Hill, even if life was not easy. Meanwhile, Anna was exploring the town again. She had decided to spend more time here, learning about ordinary life and understanding people who lived far from wealth and luxury. She walked along the streets, noticing small shops, the friendly greetings of neighbors, and children playing in the yards. Everything seemed simple, yet full of warmth. Later that day, Anna spotted Daniel's truck parked outside the workshop. She smiled and decided to go in, curious to see the place where he worked. Daniel was under a car, focused on fixing the engine. He wiped his hands on a rag when he saw her. Anna, you're here again, he said, surprised but pleased. What brings you? I wanted to see where you work, she replied softly. It seems like hard work, but I can tell you enjoy it. Daniel chuckled and climbed out from under the car. Yes, it is hard work, but it's honest work, and I like knowing that I'm helping people. Cars are tricky, but they need care just like people do. Anna watched him closely, noticing how his hands moved skillfully, even though they were rough and scarred from years of labor. There was pride in his movements, pride in providing for his daughter. She realized that no amount of money could replace that dedication. Do you ever get tired? She asked. Of course, Daniel replied with a smile. But when you have someone waiting for you, someone who depends on you, you keep going. That's my motivation, my daughter. Anna nodded, understanding the depth of his words. She had money, privilege, and comfort. Yet she had never felt responsibility in this way. Watching Daniel, she felt a mix of admiration and curiosity. There was a strength in him that could not be measured in wealth or fame. As the day passed, Daniel worked on several cars while Anna helped him by passing tools or holding parts. The simplicity of their tasks created a quiet bond between them. They spoke about everyday things, favorite foods, hobbies, and small dreams. Daniel spoke about his hopes for Lily, and Anna shared stories of places she had visited, careful not to reveal her family's wealth. By late afternoon, Daniel had finished his work for the day. He wiped his hands and stretched, noticing how tired he felt. Anna smiled at him. "You really do work hard," she said. "I have to," Daniel replied. "It's the only way I can give Lily a good life. I want her to be happy, to have opportunities I never had." Anna felt a quiet admiration for him. She had met many people in her life, but few had such pure hearts. Here was a man who struggled every day, yet he never complained and always put his daughter first. "Would you like to come with me to pick up Lily from school?" Daniel asked suddenly. "It might be fun for you to see her too." Anna smiled and nodded. "I'd love to." When they arrived at the school, Lily ran toward Daniel, waving excitedly. She stopped when she saw Anna standing beside him and smiled shyly. "Hello," she said politely. "Hi, Lily," Anna replied warmly. "I'm happy to meet you." The three of them walked home together. Lily chattered about her day, showing drawings and talking about her friends. Anna listened, smiling, realizing that this ordinary life was full of small joys she had never experienced. Back at the house, Daniel watched Lily and Anna interact. He felt a strange sense of happiness he could not explain. There was something special about Anna, and he wondered if she might stay in their lives longer than just a single ride on the highway. The evening sky turned golden, and the house felt warm and full of life. Daniel realized that sometimes the most unexpected meetings could change your world in ways you never imagined. The next morning, Daniel woke to the sound of birds singing outside his small window. The sun was just beginning to rise, casting soft light across the kitchen. He smiled as he thought about Lily, who was still asleep upstairs. Today would be another busy day, but he was ready to face it. After preparing breakfast, Daniel sat down to eat quietly. He enjoyed these calm mornings, moments of peace before the day became hectic. Lily appeared soon after, yawning and stretching. "Good morning, Daddy," she said happily. "Can we go to the park today?" Daniel chuckled. "Yes, Lily, we'll go after school. But first finish your homework so we can have the whole afternoon free." Lily nodded and ran off to complete her tasks. Daniel cleaned up the kitchen and then left for the workshop. On the way, he noticed Anna walking along the street. She waved when she saw him and he pulled over. "Good morning," he said, smiling. "Do you want to ride to wherever you are going?" Anna smiled back. "Yes, thank you. I wanted to explore a little more, but I also enjoy riding with you." They drove slowly through the town, talking about small things, shops, streets, and favorite places. Daniel noticed Anna's curiosity and enthusiasm. She seemed genuinely interested in the world around her, not just observing but wanting to understand. At the workshop, Daniel worked on a car that had broken down during the night. His hands moved skillfully over the engine, but his mind wandered back to the previous evenings.
He thought about Anna, about how unusual it was to meet someone who seemed so different,
Yet felt so easy to talk to. Anna watched him quietly, noticing the concentration on his face and the care he took in every movement. She admired his dedication and felt inspired by his strength. This was a world she had never truly seen before, a world where people worked hard not for wealth but for love and responsibility. By midday, the work was done, and Daniel suggested they take a short break. He walked with Anna to a small park nearby. Lily was already playing there with some of her friends. When she saw Daniel and Anna, she ran toward them. "Daddy, Anna is here," Lily exclaimed, waving her hand. Anna smiled warmly at Lily. "Hi, Lily, how are you today?" "I'm good. Do you want to play with us?" Lily asked eagerly. Anna laughed softly. "I'd love to. Show me the games you like to play." Daniel watched the two of them, feeling a strange sense of happiness. He realized that Anna brought a lightness into their lives, a kind of energy that Lily responded to immediately. There was no pretense, no judgment, just simple friendship and kindness. The afternoon passed quickly as they played together. Anna joined in the games, laughing with Lily, and Daniel felt a sense of peace he had not felt in years. It was a rare feeling, a moment of connection that reminded him why he worked so hard and why he cherished these small joys. As the sun began to set, casting golden light across the park, Daniel called Lily. "Time to go home, Lily." Lily groaned but obeyed. Knowing her father's rules were always gentle but firm, Anna walked beside them as they headed back to the house. Inside, Daniel prepared a simple dinner while Lily talked about the day. Anna listened quietly, smiling at the little stories and giggles. She realized that life's true happiness was not in riches or luxury, But in moments like these, connection, love, and laughter. Later that evening, as Daniel tucked Lily into bed, he noticed how peaceful she looked. "Sweet dreams, Lily," he whispered. "I love you." "I love you too, Daddy," Lily replied, closing her eyes with a smile. Outside, Anna walked toward her temporary lodging in town, reflecting on the day. She had no idea how much this small family had already touched her heart. Their love, joy, and simplicity were lessons she could never have learned in her own world. She wondered what the future held and whether she would see Daniel and Lily again. Something inside her told her that this was only the beginning, that their paths would continue to cross, and that ordinary life held extraordinary surprises. The night fell quietly over Green Hill, the stars shining above, as two lives, one of struggle and one of privilege, moved closer together in ways neither could yet understand.